Hi everyone, and welcome to hashtag Let's Get Awkward. Sorry I took a week off, but after doing the last podcast, I felt really down, and seems like things aren't getting better. With Pride Month ending, we shouldn't really get too complacent about where we are and how far we've come. We still need to keep pushing. I mean, with the news covering the Conservatives trying to alter trans rights by scrapping their ability to self-identify. Measures were drawn up by May's government to allow trans to change their birth certificate without a medical diagnosis, but now it's been scrapped, with more plans to stop people of male anatomy to have access to female-only spaces, i.e. bathrooms, changing rooms, leading to trans women being forced into male-only spaces. I don't have to spell out how dangerous that will be. Then we have Trump allowing doctors to discriminate against LGBT plus during the pandemic and erasing protections, which has led to a lawsuit by LGBT plus groups, and hopefully they'll succeed. And then there's my personal thing of trying to explain to family why trans jokes are harmful, resulting in me being dead named by them and having a laugh about it because they think it's funny. And then them telling me that trans aren't a minority because they haven't suffered as bad as other minorities, and I'm really not trans, just confused / mentally ill. Which doesn't help with J.K. Rowling tweeting transphobic statements and writing a 6-page essay of BS, hoping to mend bridges. And she did. If by mending bridges you mean stick more TNT on it and hope the explosions magically repair the damage the first lot did. Then pile on the COVID-19 with people ignoring health and safety by crowding on beaches, protests saying COVID-19 isn't real. It is. Then watching the BLM movement being ridiculed with hashtag All Lives Matter and White Lives Matter, as well as reactions of black people commit more crimes, most gangs are dominantly black, and I don't have white privilege, I'm poor and have no job, there are a lot of black people richer than me. The list goes on, and dear God, it goes on. Or just plainly they try and dig dirt on the victim to make them look bad, or the police saying it's just a few bad apples in the barrel. Well, how about try this? Get a barrel and fill it with good apples, but put some bad ones in the middle and put the lid on the barrel. Wait for a week and check it. What will you find? More bad apples. Sit on your ass all day and pointing out that there are bad apples isn't going to do anything while that lot ruins the rest of the apples. Taking action to stop the spread will. And this month has just felt more exhausting than the whole year itself. I've spent the week wondering how to type this and express emotions. Then I found something. It was a poem I wrote over a year ago at a TBA weekend. Though the poem was well received when I read it to the rest of the group, part of me hated it as I poured everything I felt into it. The moment I finished it, I literally burst into tears as I hadn't realised how much I had kept inside all these years, as I'd never found the words to say it. Like I've always said, me explaining anything from my emotions to my point of view is like explaining how a camera works. I can't do it. So I'll end with this poem and hopefully next month we'll make some progress. This is a short podcast, but like I said, this month has just been a roller coaster of ugh. But if you do want to learn more about transgender and non-binary, then you can go to mermaidsuk.org.uk. Also, to be up to date on BLM, which is Black Lives Matter, you can go to blacklivesmatter.com. We're not sponsored by either groups, but we love mermaids and believe in equality for all. The poem I'm about to read you is called Layers of Them. And the reason I'm reading it out is because I do feel that this is how I feel and what a lot of people I've spoken to have felt over this past month. So, here it goes. I wanted to be alone. I had to be alone. It's mine, mine alone. But they kept coming, they keep invading. We were handed a canvas, we were handed paints, we were handed brushes. They told us to paint a picture of a vase. I began. I poured my heart, I poured my soul. All the ways it made me feel. Then a pain shot through my arm. Looking at me was anger. Looking at me was hate. My brush had fallen to the ground. I was enticed with fear, longing to pick it up, but the face kept staring. No, faces. More and more faces appeared. They were in rage, in disgust. In unison they chanted, shame, wrong, abomination. They made a grab for my brush, like savage creatures, clawing at each other's wrists, covering my canvas with blood, with sweat, with spit. I was pushed aside, away from my canvas, as they violated the effort I worked so hard to achieve. I cried, they looked. One by one they left the canvas, and one by one they slapped me with a smile, then returned to their canvas. I held mine in my arms and wept. It did not show my soul, it did not show my heart. The siren echoed through the room, signalling the end. One by one they hung their canvas, took a plaid to the hand and signed the title of the work with blood. As I hung mine, I felt empty. A black hole became my heart. And as the blade glided across my hand, I felt no pain. With each letter I wrote, I saw each face carved in my mind, with such detail, such dimension. Cold sweats erupted, the veins spread, and pain became an hallucination. I stepped back and waited for my judgment, to look upon the canvas, created by layers of them. Thanks for listening, guys. As I said, it is a short episode, but I do hope that you look into this, look into the poem, look at what I said, and take it to heart, because with everything going on with 2020, it does feel like the whole world is tearing itself apart, but we need to be more accepting, more loving, more kind to one another, and do the right thing. It's like what Rumpelstiltskin said at the end of Once Upon a Time. You don't do the right thing for a reward. You do it because it's right. And if we live by that, then maybe we can become a better place. There are people who need us to stand with them and fight for their rights, to be who they are, to be equal in everything we do and say and show in the media. And with COVID-19, there are people who need help with food, getting small things around the house getting done, even just picking up the phone and talking to them to keep them company during this rough time. So please be kind to one another, and I'll see you all next week, and hopefully we'll have a happier episode. I've been Billy No Mates, and this is #Let's Get Awkward.